I can honestly say that out of all the DC films that I've watched, it took a graphic novel formatted into an animated movie to provide context about the Batman and the Joker's relationship. Batman, The Killing Joke, provides backstory and an outlook on the psychological, antisocial sides of Batman and the Joker. Welcome back to Ivy Joe's Reviews, where today we'll discuss the animated movie, Batman, The Killing Joke, and explore the true nature behind Batman and the Joker's relationship. The Killing Joke is an animated movie based off of Alan Moore's graphic novel, The Killing Joke. Published in 1988, it provides the most compelling backstory. If you're like me, and have a difficult time visually reading graphic novels or comic books, I recommend watching the animated movie. I absolutely enjoyed it. Batman identifies with his animalistic, antisocial side. The story begins by narration from Commissioner Jim Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon. Having grown into the role of Batgirl, Barbara cannot understand why the Batman can't accept her in her role of support, despite the danger it might bring to her. It is in this conversation with Barbara, we hear his pain from the years of violence when he states, "You're not in it, like I'm in it. It's still a game for you. It's still a thrill, you haven't been taken to the edge yet, to the abyss, to the place where you don't care anymore. Where all hope dies." Clearly, we learn from Batman that he has been taken to the edge, to the abyss, and that darkness, illustrated by way of Bat characteristics, and a cave, has stripped aspects of his humanity, that he does not want Barbara to lose. She later confirms she has seen this abyss, and could not understand why Batman did not succumb to its temptation. The Joker's desire is to manifest chaos, leaving trails of madness in his path. As in war, to defeat your enemy is to understand your enemy. The Batman desires to understand the Joker's psychology. But clearly, after many battles, this psychological understanding has not yet been obtained. For Batman struggles with the thought, "I don't know him. All these years and I don't know who he is any more than he knows who I am." To which he's quickly reminded by Alfred, "You can't save everyone." Letting the audience know that Batman understands to take down his enemy, he must understand his motivations. Batman confirms this by way of telling Alfred, "He drives me." Batman anxiously desires to know how things between him and the Joker will end. "I've been thinking about you and me and about how this is going to end. About who will end up killing who. Perhaps you'll kill me, perhaps I'll kill you, perhaps sooner, perhaps later, you know that, don't you?" It's as if he's admitting he knows that the Joker is his ultimate enemy. The Batman understands the Joker's insanity is enough to cause him to commit acts of no return. The Joker, despite his madness, understands he is not in a battle with Batman, but a war where the prize is madness. To end it all, ends the war, and end the ultimate challenges that both the Batman and Joker continually face inside of a world where they both exist. Outside of his wealth, logic and technology, are safeguards and boundaries that allow Batman to live, by way of a code, despite the hatred and contempt he feels for the Joker. "I just need to know for when that time comes. I've made a genuine attempt to talk things over, to try and avert the inevitable, just once. Our relationship is fatal," says Batman. Batman understands their relationship is so fatal, that it's inevitable, the battles will conclude in one of their deaths. Logically, the Batman understands he will have some sort of solace, knowing that he tried everything first, before killing the Joker, or vice versa. Batman is on the prowl seeking answers and the whereabouts of the Joker. Despite the fear that Batman attempts to admonish for answers from criminals, the criminals make it clear they are afraid of Batman, but are terrified of the Joker. They understand that there may be some sort of reprieve with Batman, because of his code. However, with the Joker, there's only insanity, that knows no bounds. This insanity is really illustrated after the Joker has had his way with Barbara, and begins torturing Commissioner Gordon to ensure he goes mad. After being beat, stripped, and taken to the amusement park, Commissioner Gordon says to the Joker, "Please tell me what I'm doing here." To which the Joker responds, "Doing? You're doing what any sane man in your appalling circumstances would do. You're going mad." The Joker has an entire musical number in which he encourages others to give into life's woes and go mad. At one point, the Joker says of Commissioner Gordon, "Give him time to reflect upon life and all its random uncontrollability." For we see that the Joker's answer to pain or hurt inside is reason enough to become certified mad. He joyously sings, "If life should treat you bad, don't get even, get mad." The Joker finds that reality waters down hallucinations, and therefore madness is key to survival. He confirms this by stating, "Remembering is dangerous. I find it such a worrying, anxious place." Yes, memory is so treacherous. One moment you're lost in a carnival of delight, childhood aromas, the next it takes you somewhere you don't want to be. The Joker continued to state, "Memories can be vile, repulsive, and gruesome. But can we live without them? Memories are what our reason is based on. If we deny them, we deny reason itself. Although what's wrong with that, really? It's not like we're contractually tied down to rationality. There is no sanity clause," the Joker says. When you find yourself locked onto an unpleasant train of thought, headed for places in your past where the screaming is unavoidable, remember this: there's always madness. The Joker concludes his philosophical rant by saying, "You can just step to the side and close the door on all those dreadful things that happened. You can lock them away forever." Before the Joker's descent, he tried to live by society's rule and be a good family man. The Joker explained before he became the Joker that he turned to crime for one big score, posing as the Red Hood, a member of the Red Hood gang. With a baby on the way, he stated, he quit being a lab assistant because his heart wasn't in it. The Joker further explained, "I quit to become a comedian, to make people laugh. When people laugh, they feel good. Thing is, they didn't. Now, I'm not feeling good. That's why I'm here, for one big score." By the end, the Joker cannot comprehend why Batman, who had his parents taken from him before his very eyes, hasn't gone mad. According to the Joker, he and Batman are the same people. They were treated bad by life, and as a result, they have every right to let all rationality go. We see Batman bend so many rules that when the Joker begins to present to Commissioner Gordon all the things that has happened by way of Batman, Commissioner Gordon thought the Joker was in fact describing himself, not Batman. The Joker asks his minions and Commissioner Gordon, what should be done with someone who has no regard for the law? Someone who treats people like meat. A man who has no problem brutalizing his fellow man to get his way. What would you do to a man who breaks the laws you are sworn to uphold? A monster who ignores everything you stand for. And Commissioner Gordon, without realizing the Joker is referencing Batman, says that he would throw the book at him. The Joker asks, "Is it really that bad?" And Commissioner Gordon says, "Yes, it is, and if it were up to me I'd throw the book at him." It is at this moment that Commissioner Gordon realizes that the Joker is referencing Batman, and it's the Joker's way of illustrating that Batman is just as much of an insane criminal as the Joker is. The Joker then later presents this same argument to Batman. By the end, the Joker feels as if he's proven his point, that he's no different than anyone else. All it takes is one bad day. The Joker feels that he has driven Commissioner Gordon mad, and tells Batman that he knows he had one bad day. He stated, "Dressing up like a flying rat doesn't hide it, it screams it. You had a bad day and everything changed. You had a bad day and it drove you as crazy as everybody else, only you won't admit it. You have to keep pretending that it makes sense, that there is some point to all this struggling. I mean, what is it with you? What made you what you are?" The Joker even repaints his backstory, explaining to Batman that he prefers to remember his past as he pleases. He states, he cannot remember if his girlfriend was killed by the mob, or maybe his brother was carved up by some mugger. The Joker, enjoying his engagement with Batman, laughs and states, "Sometimes I remember one way, sometimes another. If I'm gonna have a pass, I prefer it to be multiple choice." Drilling Batman, he continues, "My point is, I went crazy and I'm smart enough to admit it. Why can't you? By clinging to reality, you're denying the reality of the situation. It's all a joke, Everything anybody's ever valued or struggled for, it's monstrous. Why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing? Batman finally responds, because I heard it before and it wasn't funny the first time. Ordinary people don't crack, maybe it's just you, says Batman. He confirms this theory by telling the Joker that Commissioner Gordon, despite being stripped, tortured, and made to watch the violent acts committed against his daughter Barbara, that left her violated and unable to walk, didn't crack. Batman illustrates his sanity and uncompromising code, and despite hatred for the Joker, explains to him that he doesn't want to hurt him. Empathizing with the Joker, he explains, I don't want either of us to end up killing the other. But we're running out of alternatives. I don't know what it is that bent your life out of shape, but maybe I've been there too. Maybe we can work together. I can rehabilitate you. You don't need to be alone. We don't have to kill each other. Let me help you. As if he thought about it for a second, the Joker responds, I'm sorry, but no, it's far too late for that. And he proceeds to tell a joke to illustrate his point that leaves the Batman and him laughing together. The animated movie ends with a joke that both archenemies can appreciate and respect, as it comically depicts the Batman and Joker's relationship. Batman, The Killing Joke, brought together various elements that directors like Tim Burton, Christopher Nolan, and Matt Reeves tried to relay. It was the most psychologically gratifying backstory I've ever taken in about Batman and the Joker's relationship, and from this point on, I will be none the wiser for Alan Moore's take on it. My number one desire is for someone to recreate this animated movie as a feature film, with very little tweaks at all. If you've seen or read the comic book Batman, The Killing Joke, did you enjoy it? Do you have a better understanding of the backstory and relationship between the Joker and Batman? Do you feel as if something was missing from the backstory? And lastly, who would you like to see direct the film? Let me know your thoughts, and please feel free to leave your comments below. And as always, thank you for watching Ivy Joe's Reviews.